Scientology so afraid of?
This is SPTV.
Hello, everyone. Hope you are all having a wonderful Sunday morning. We are also having a very wonderful Sunday morning, you guys, as we continue to do yoga at the beach and relax and do all the fun activities that we like to do. So in preparation of this video, where appropriately the video is called More Scams from Ashton and Mila Surface Besides at Thorne, we're going to get into the weeds of the video right away by reading this statement. In light of recent developments, including Ashton Kutcher's decision to step down from his role at Thorne, an organization who purports to be dedicated to ending child trafficking and SA of minors, questions continue to arise regarding the efficacy of their so-called technology in addressing any such issues. While Mr. Kutcher's involvement in anti-trafficking initiatives is well documented, literal chairman of the board that Ashton used to be, before stepping down instead of up, only serve to amplify real AF concerns about the effectiveness of the so-called 501c efforts, particularly in relation to his association and full-blown endorsement Sorry guys, I lost track of my thing. You know, it's hard to have to think about all of these things that we're talking about here, but let's refocus. While Mr. Kutcher's involvement in anti-trafficking initiatives is well documented, literal chairman of the board that Ashton used to be before stepping down instead of up, only served to amplify real AF concerns about the effectiveness of the so-called 501c efforts, particularly in relation to his association and full-blown endorsement of kid that grew up in Scientology and is now a convicted, you know what in the literal hell we mean, BFF, moral compass installer, one Danny Masterson. It is perplexing AF that despite Mr. Kutcher's so-called amazing technological capabilities and unlimited amount to network of highly privileged resources that he's got at his fingertips, a ton of resources Mr. Kutcher has at his literal fingertips, you guys. But there appears to be a significant blind AF spot when it comes to acknowledging or addressing the reported instances of trafficking of minors that took place in hotels associated with Mr. Masterson. That also, fun AF fact, Mila and Ashton definitely took it upon themselves to also go visit those hotels. Furthermore, and only to make matters worse, as if that is even possible, the absence of a shred of recognition or even mentions of the Jane Does involved in these cases. That his guru life coach, kid that grew up in Scientology and Hollywood, Danny Masterson, who got fully convicted of, only raises further questions about transparency and accountability. Or better said, the utter lack thereof from Mila and Ashton. We, the other kids who grew up in Scientology and did not go to high school, and who had our passports locked up inside of a hotel, truly believe it is essential for individuals and organizations committed to combating child trafficking to not only take action, but also to ensure that their efforts are transparent, accountable, and aligned with their stated mission. It is vital to uphold the highest standards of integrity and ethical conduct, especially when dealing with such critical issues. Right or wrong? This situation also raises broader concerns about the state of affairs in Hollywood and Scientology, and all of the public relations firms who are intimately involved, charging hefty AF retainers for themselves to wield undue influence and pitch all manner of self-made adult degenerates as this or that, according to where the wind and money flow. Today we seek a real answer to this question. What is the true state of affairs in the pursuit of justice and accountability, including but not limited to for victims of child trafficking, both and inside of Hollywood and Scientology? Was adulticizing kids and infantilizing adults, was that a good MF idea? Please advise. As Ashton Kutcher, predictably AF, steps down from his chairman of the board. Another one of these chairmen of the boards. There's already one that doesn't want to get served on his federal child trafficking lawsuit. There's already one that keeps evading getting serviced, no matter how many times people try to give him the papers. So now this other genius, chairman of the board, Ashton Kutcher, that did take it upon himself to step down. Right, Ashton? You're always doing the right thing, aren't you? Because this moment really calls for you to step the F down. Because in case you guys didn't notice, and if you go check out Molly McPherson's TikTok, where she does take it upon herself to out her entire business model of all these publicists that, you know, have a lot of cookie cutter ways to clean up disgusting things. We can pitch it like this, we can pitch it like that. We really know what in the hell we're talking about. And Molly just called all of their PR people out for what they do. It's not like she's the only one that has those ideas. Trust me, there's a whole business model with how these people launder images not take accountability, not do a shred of a thing. Because apparently talking to any old corporate media talking head is all you need. It's like literally soap and bubbles, you guys. Literally, like grab your fucking spray bottle and just go pss, 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 pss. It's called same shit, different air freshener. That's what it's called, actually. Same shit, same literal exact piece of shit with a different air freshener put on so that people can get used to another scent. Let's really put another scent to disguise the shit that we are pitching. That's what these people do day in and day out, you guys. So then we wonder why we're here, literally. Literally have to wonder a lot. So as Kutcher steps down, the effectiveness of his technology in light of the ongoing issues surrounding his close friend, Danny Masterson, that we call for clarity, transparency, and accountability in addressing our concerns. So why don't you amplify your apology, Mila and Ashton, since you not only pretended you don't even know who in the hell these Jane Does are, because it sounds so foreign to you, what in the hell they were talking about, because you wouldn't already know what in the literal hell they are talking about. So please start making sense. All of you who went to universities, all of you who went to colleges, all of you who got PR degrees, all of you who went to law school, all of y'all. Have a little meeting, America, and figure out your pitch. Figure it out really quick, because your pitch could not be more pathetic in this year 2023, as we see straight through all of your BS, literally straight through all of it. And we don't have a shred of patience anymore for this type of stupidity to play out day in and day out, quite frankly. So perhaps that technology, that Thorne, can be questioned. And while we're at it, let's also call into question the technology of Guru Danny Masterson, who was availing himself of an actual technology served inside that hotel that purports to, including but not limited to, launder Class A felonies, self-admitted Class A felonies that are all video recorded and fully chronologically transcribed in real time, all to have it floated inside a hotel. So Ashton apparently is not the only chairman of the board that is into data mining information and really figuring out what to do with that data. Apparently Danny, his guru, his technological guru, who told him, dude, that's what we do at the hotel. We ask people all manner of questions. And then, you know what? They're putty in our hands. Oh yeah, we give them contracts. Don't worry. We got the best lawyers in America writing out the contracts for us. So we're never held liable and always have to go arbitrate. They have to come arbitrate with us again because we can scam them over and over and over and nobody gives a shred of an F, literally. So are these two technologies all just two literal pods in two literal peas in pods? That's what we need to understand. Since we don't have a shred of a clue, please advise at Thorne Leadership. Perhaps enlighten us, the kids that grew up in Scientology, how y'all's technology works and why it cannot find, or it cannot seem to be able to find, a shred of a kid being trafficked inside Scientology hotels. Because that would be really great to know right about now. Leadership team of Thorne, child trafficking experts that y'all really are, on the public record, on your filings to the IRS, everywhere you've been saying you're the experts. You really want to take this on. So yeah, please advise ASAP. Literally. Because yet that's another thing that doesn't make a shred of sense in this year 2023. We will continue to monitor and raise questions where necessary to ensure that the fight against child trafficking remains an unwavering priority, free from the ambiguity or misdirection that we are sick and tired of being misdirected. We have not a shred of patience left for willful displays of ignorance and stupidity. CC, Congress of these United States of America. CC, IRS, specifically and including but not limited to the IRS Commissioner. CC, FBI, Crimes Against Children's Unit. Shout out to y'all at the Crimes Against Children Unit of the FBI. That really is tapping Ashton Kutcher to help. Explain your damn selves. ASAP. CC, Department of Homeland Security. CC y'all there too. That apparently in this year 2023, clueless AF as to what is going on in those hotels. CC, ICE. CC y'all at ICE, where all the kids that work in that hotel have been going through all of your airport security stops, borders, whatever. This country doesn't have borders. This country doesn't have laws it can enforce. It couldn't be more pathetic. There's no more money that could be spent on a problem to only have it legalized. Because in the heart of Florida, we really don't give a shred of an F who is coming to there. All you had to tell the ICE people is you were going to Clearwater, Florida, and you were really, really a religious person at 12 years old. And they said, oh, that's great. Here, give me your thing. Let me sign it. You can go to that hotel because you're really going to get trained into doing a lot of religious things, right? Here you go. Welcome to America. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's roll out the red carpet while we're at it, right, guys? Let's really just grab a carpet and really roll it out for all the kids. So yeah, shout out to you, ICE. And shout out to you, SEC, since y'all are the ones that are actually, apparently, the only three-letter agency that actually, nabs people when they are committing fraud. When they're literally caught committing fraud, the SEC is the only one that seems to be a three-letter agency doing a shred of a thing in all of the United States, because that's exactly what we're going to cover today. So the first part, if you want to call this a monologue, a statement, whatever in the hell that was, my rant, my whatever, that's fine. Whatever that was mostly to the leadership of Thorne, who apparently advised Ashton This is the time for you really to step down, Ashton. This is the time for you to really just, get lost. We will do, all the things that Molly here says. It's not like she's the only one that would pitch the same exact thing. Any publicist out there that would charge, I don't know, 50K to really clean it up. It's only going to cost you 50K. Here's our contract. We're really going to crisis this management. Manage this crisis. You know what I mean. Here, 50K. Send that to our bank real quick, Ashton and Mila. And before you know it, America's going to be reminded of how funny you were and how, angelical you are and how, you're really going to do a lot more good things for the world because you all really care and we're rooting for you. Maybe transfer the publicist a little more because, since you do have 275 million, maybe the publicists are seeing like, man, maybe I should charge like 1 million for this actually. Think about all the money you're going to get once we get everyone to buy the pitch that y'all are just some, fun, loving, infantile, not chairmen of the board that you really are, and not tech geniuses of the century, as we're about to see. They're all over the public record pitching themselves at. Mila and Ashton are anything but pathetic fools, you guys. They play pathetic fool, infantile, I didn't know what in the hell I was doing, real well. But let's see if we can hold their little feet to the fire to see what happens when those feet get actually fed to the fire. Not cradled and canoodled, not, okay, just really say that you really learned your lesson. Come on, go tell that to Anderson Cooper. Okay, so did you really learn your lesson? Oh my God, I really learned my lesson. I really, really want to say the name of the Jane Does, but, our hearts really go out. We're sick of your hearts going nowhere. That's what we're sick of. That platitude about my heart goes out here, my heart goes out there, when you're just blabbing your mouth and doing nothing, falls like this. Nobody cares. Oh yeah, but really our hearts go out. Nobody cared. You see? So let's bring up this little tiny, breaking news that apparently hasn't really been breaking, but because apparently, you guys, believe it or not, what in the hell is this ad that I can't get rid of? So annoying how all these ads are literally, can't get rid of it, you guys, sorry. Well, anyways, I'll still be able to read it, so don't worry. So Newsweek, right? Newsweek says, was Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis pot-smoking cat show an NFT scam? So here we go, guys. More scams from the two, brought to you by Hollywood celebrity couple, power celebrity couple of the century, Mila and Ashton, who, were they involved in a pot-smoking cat show scam? Literally, like, I cannot even keep a straight face with what in the hell just came out of my mouth. Because you know what? Don't you remember that they were very pressed about never doing drugs, and that how, Danny did really take it upon himself to really, like, guys, say no to drugs, but say yes to pot smoking cats? Like, what in the literal hell? I promise you, like, I went to do yoga. I am sober AF. I've never been more sober and disgusted at the same time, you guys, literally. So, yeah. So was Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis pot smoking cat show an NFT scam? Because that is a literal headline that we have in this year 2023. Never mind that the corporate media is like really kind of sleeping about this, NFT scam showing up of these people, because they just want to exploit the other side ad nauseum. But let's really like dig into the weeds, because they're all out there, right, guys? So here it is, couple of the century, of the year, and the millennia all at once. $275 million. Power, 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 power couple. Hollywood couple. See, there you go. Corporate media, guys. Hollywood couple. Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, adult animated series Stoner Cats, has been fined $1 million by the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. See, guys, the SEC apparently is the only ones that are allowed to enforce a shred of law in this country. Apparently, they're the only ones that ever fine anybody anything over the methods used to raise money for the project. Well, isn't that interesting, you guys? That these two have now a literal public history of questionable fundraising methods for stoner cats, the thing that, their BFF told them to not be about. Why would they be out there literally promoting stoner culture? I mean, that's in Scientology. If you're a stoner, you couldn't be the most disgusting, degraded person they've ever even heard of, you guys. Apparently in Scientology, if you literally grab a joint and you go like this, you literally couldn't be more off your rails. You're a criminal. You're a disgusting drug addict. You're one step away from shooting yourself with heroin. That's the pitch that Danny Masterson would have given these two Hollywood brainiacs that we see on the screen. So just to clarify that cognitive dissonance of why would they have even written that? Well, because that's the Scientology pitch, you guys. You cannot be a stoner in there because then you really are off the rails, or maybe you're not so manipulatable. I don't know, guys. I grew up in a literal cult and I wouldn't have a shred of a clue about anything that I am in the hell talking about. So here we go. The SEC does come to the rescue, because God forbid adults that get scammed by other adults really need rescuing, but kids that get scammed by adults need not a shred of rescue. Right, Clearwater Police? According to the SEC, the series was funded with $8 million made from selling more than 10,000 non-fungible tokens, NFTs. However, the SEC has fined those behind the show for conducting, quote, conducting an unregistered offering of crypto asset securities. So again, you guys, in America, no bueno to commit fraud on the public record where everyone can see that you sold some stoner cats because you really don't want to promote drug culture, because that's what in the hell your BFF told you not to do. I mean, with what type of straight face can these people be running a stoner culture NFT project? What are the people that are stoned that are going to relate to the stoner thing? Because Mila and Ashton have never touched weed in their literal lives, you guys. Literally, they never, ever, ever touched a shred of a drug because they were really having nightmares over losing friendship with DM. Isn't that interesting? But, when it comes to a quick get rich quick scheme, such as this one here, where, they really did tell themselves, let's really grab everybody and let's just really go in social media and tell everyone to buy their cat smoking pot thing that they were pitching, that, they quickly just raised $8 million because nothing is suspect here, right, guys? This is just another good old day in America. That's what we have. So the article continues. Stoner Cats features Kutcher and Kunis, along a host of stars, including veteran actor Jane Fonda. Damn. Including veteran actor and woman that literally is literally saying, what in the literal hell did I do? Getting roped into this scam. Jane Fonda. Comedian Chris Rock, he really did get slapped. But, apparently Chris Rock is also involved because, he's friends with the Kutchers, who have never touched a single shred of a joint in their literal lives because they grew up since that 70s show. I mean, it's not like Danny wasn't supposed to be a pot smoking person in that show. What was it? I never watched it, you guys, but that's the rumor on the internet, that he was playing a character in the 70s that really was about smoking pot, which L. Ron Hubbard couldn't have been more against, right? Because the minute those idiots at those hotels start smoking pot is the second they all realize that everything was a piece of literal shit. Everything they did, all that little role play, would start losing that fake whatever in the hell cognitive dissonance they developed for themselves to go goo goo gaga for L. Ron Hubbard, the most genius man that they gave all their critical thinking skills to. Those critical thinking skills were renounced for L. Ron Hubbard, the big commodore that he was, the big child trafficking normalizer, degenerate, convicted, indicted felon that L. Ron Hubbard was, that all these adults were just so goo goo gaga for. I mean, if L. Ron Hubbard said it, there's my critical thinking skills for you, sir. I give you that and my kids and my money and my wife and whatever in the hell else. It's not called getting emasculated, you guys. Maybe we should really look it up what that is, because that's kind of like the word that just came up to my brain. Stoner Cats features Kuchis and Kunis. Oh, more. So we were at comedian Rock and then musician Michael Bublé. Michael Bublé, you guys. Aren't they all such a great cult of their own, these Hollywood people? I mean, are we just conspiracy theorists, or are we literally running circles around the QAnon people? I mean, I never even thought that I would voice that out of my literal mouth, but as much as everyone's, being fed some BS conspiracy from QAnon that couldn't have been more ridiculous and stupid, the real conspiracy is playing out in front of everyone's eyeballs, but everyone's eyes are wide shut. Maybe that film did really cast a spell on everyone, guys, and now everyone's running around like literal idiots, not knowing what in the hell really tapping Ashton and Mila, the stoner cats, anti-drug. I mean, what in the literal hell is their pitch today, guys? Honestly, with stoner cats being a scam and them having a letter where they literally said that that Danny couldn't have influenced them more because he really was against drugs. I mean, seriously? So then they roped in, Jane Fonda and Michael Bublé, whose publicists are really right now, as we're saying this today, guys, literally shitting bricks. They're like, oh no, nobody told us. We didn't know. What are we going to say? Call Anderson Cooper quickly. We have him on speed dial. And tells the story of a group of cats who became sentient after being exposed to their owner's medical marijuana. The cat's owner had Alzheimer's disease. What in the literal living hell is this, you guys? You mean to tell us that literally Ashton and Mila have known all along that they could literally just sprinkle Scientology Celebrity Center on their own? It's not like they couldn't go in there. They're Ashton and Mila. Oh, hi, Susan. We're friends of your, oh yeah, your son, Luke. He knows us very well. And we would like to come to, your rose garden to really have a tea inside that hotel. Because, who gives a fuck about Chateau Marmont? Chateau Marmont is really small. Chateau Marmont, nobody gives a shred of an F about anymore. That's so like million years ago when, Lindsay Lohan really was frequenting that spot. That's when we all really wanted to go there. But now just we go to the privacy of your hotel where if we go to have tea there, no one's going to be around. And we might be, taking some cigarettes and putting weed inside there. Oh, we're not supposed to tell you that, Susan. Sorry. No, never mind. Just see us there at the Celebrity Center. We're going to have a tea. Okay? Okay, bye, Susan. Thank you. Bye. Yes, our people will call your people, Susan. Yes, don't worry. Yeah, there will be no paparazzi. We're not calling them. We're not calling the paparazzi to go picture us, so no one's going to give a shred of an F. They only come around when we call them and pretend that nobody knows a shred of a thing and we're so important that people can just pathetically wait for people outside a door because nobody has a shred of a thing better to do, right? So just like that, you guys, Mila and Ashton end up in that hotel with joints that they could literally just spread around the Celebrity Center, and maybe the people in Scientology start, smokers that they are, they all smoke a ton of nicotine. I mean, I don't know what it is about these people, but nicotine and alcohol are their drug of choice. They really do go to a purification center. They really do tell themselves they're so clean. Their bodies are so clean. My body's this, my body's that. But literally, they couldn't be more filled with nicotine and alcohol, because those are the two vices that L. Ron Hubbard did say, okay, you can have those two, just don't touch pot or LSD. Those are bad. As soon as anyone touches those, they might realize I'm full of shit myself. Uh-oh, was I not supposed to say that? Right? So in a plot twist worthy of its own screen time, the SEC announced in a press release this week that the team behind the series violated the Security Acts of 1933 by offering and selling these crypto asset securities to the public in an unregistered offering that was not exempt from registration. See, and remember, guys, the SEC was a 3-letter agency that was propped up to make sure people didn't get defrauded, because with this whole idea that we have free commerce, everyone can do whatever the hell they want here in America. Even these people at the SEC would say, well, yeah, everyone can do whatever, but we can't just like allow people to literally like steal. Like we really have to come up with checks and balances. And apparently, the only last standing agency with a shred of a tooth in its mouth is the SEC. Apparently, that's the only one, because they really can get very upset that the act enacted in 33 to sell people unregistered offerings that are not exempt from registration, but Mila and Ashton, with all the legal advisors that they have, with all the money that they have to get the best possible legal advice, apparently have still ended on the wrong side of the law. Apparently, they're still involving themselves in some sort of scam, pitching cats that really want to be smoking weed. And the influence of Danny couldn't have been more pathetically uninfluencing on them, since they didn't see how getting themselves literally a headline of, are they involved in a scam, while they're also stepping down from Thorne, another scam. Would Thorne have any weird type of fundraising activity going on for itself, you guys? Because this is giving, we literally want to get a lot of money for ourselves. This is giving Ashton Kutcher. I already went to Congress and pitched myself as a used car salesman to really give us money, because if you do give us money next year, we'll be here with less money to ask for, because we really care about trafficking victims that we cannot find in Danny Masterson's hotels. That's what it's literally giving. So while raising funds for the show, which debuted in 2021, the project's marketing team highlighted specific benefits of owning the crypto asset securities, including the option for owners to resell their NFTs on the secondary market for a higher profit, per the statement. These actions said the SEC emphasized its expertise as Hollywood producers, its knowledge of crypto projects, and the well-known actors involved in the web series, leading investors to expect profits, because a successful web series could cause the resale value of the Stoner Cats NFTs in the secondary market to rise. Wow. Imagine being an idiot that bought the NFT cat stoner scam being sold by these two, whose secondary market, I mean, I could only think that must be crashing AF. It's not like the two stoner cats are fake stoner cats. Don't even know what the hell they're talking about, because apparently they've never touched a shred of a blunt in their lives, because nothing could be more toxic than that, according to the Kutchers, according to Danny Masterson's, say no to drugs campaign that he would do run on people. Because believe you me, that stink of marijuana, like these people in Scientology couldn't have pretended to be more allergic to that than committing and self-admitting felonies for themselves, you guys. The cognitive dissonance of those people is that horrendous, literally. They're like, oh, this smells like marijuana, evil, let's all run out, let's really all go against it. Never mind that, again, why in the hell then was Danny Masterson playing a pothead on that 70s show? Carol Masterson, maybe you would like to advise, since you did pitch Danny to all these people that you had under some sort of undue influence to write pathetic, ridiculous letters that literally you couldn't even see the gun pointed next to their head, because apparently all the publicists are just really thinking, well, they really did mean well, you guys, but sometimes, people F up, and life is complex. I mean, don't cancel them. Give them another chance. Everybody deserves a second chance in America. Everybody deserves that second chance. We're all about chances in America. We're just not about applying a shred of human trafficking laws in this country. That's all. These actions, said the SEC, emphasize its expertise as Hollywood producers. Oh yeah, so the secondary market is crashed, and if y'all are crypto people, you can Google it for yourself and figure it out. We're just getting into the weeds of another scam so that we can really start asking ourselves, what in the literal hell? Each of these NFTs were worth around $800. In purchasing them, it was sold to fans that they would get exclusive access to the animated series. Marketing for the show tied to its success to the increased value of the NFTs. I mean, you guys, this is like the new pyramid scheme AF. But, sprinkle some tech bro on it, sprinkle some Hollywood, talking heads that really know what in the hell they're talking about. And voila, you have a new emerging class of project that, if it then comes out, if you buy the NFT of the celebrity that gets found out to be shady AF, well, good luck. holding to the value of that stupid product you got sold. I think that is what this is giving at the end of the day, you guys. It was also found by the SEC that Stoner Cats 2 LLCs had created the token to give itself a 2.5% royalty for each secondary market transaction in the NFTs, and it encouraged individuals to buy and sell the NFTs, leading purchasers to spend more than 20 million in the least 10,000 transactions. So don't get it twisted, you guys. It might be about a stoner cat and ha ha ha, he he he. Never mind that Mila and Ashton, who never touched a blunt in their lives for being so scared that Danny was going to cut him off of his life, are the people that are just playing a stoner cat without having a shred of a clue what it means to be high on weed. Imagine. They must be very, very good actors. That's all I can say. Without admitting or denying the SEC findings, SC2, you see how that works, you guys? If they can't really win the case, they can't really just settle it, but we'll settle it without admitting or denying, because that's just all it takes for the corporate, ridiculous, no due diligence media to, okay, let's just go with their pitch. You know, they didn't admit it or deny it, so we don't have a shred of a clue. And let's just go and find another story that we can milk real quick for some quick cash. I mean, as if the media's not on a get quick rich scheme of their own. You guys, their investigations could not be any more toothless, empathetic, without a shred of follow-up. So yeah, so without admitting or denying, they agreed to cease and desist order, and they're going to pay a civil penalty of $1 million to the SEC. The SEC further stated, the order establishes a fair fund to return monies that injured investors paid. Oh, you guys, you know, let's really all take a moment of silence for all the injured investors that are adults. Let's really, really pray. Let's have all our hearts go out to every last shred of injured investor that, you know, this country really goes after, you know, advocating on their behalf. Are you an injured investor? We need to come help you. The SEC, the only ones that enforce a shred of law or penalty, never mind it was a civil penalty, right? Because is there any appetite for the FBI to get involved since Ashton's so-called a Thorne couldn't be more suspicious at this point? What in the literal hell is the chairman of the board of a child trafficking, anti-child trafficking 501c that really does take the time to go to Congress and pitch and pitch and pitch and make money, as if the tech bros themselves in Silicon Valley are not using Ashton, because he really does know how to learn a pitch. He really does know how to go a script and cry on command about all the things that he saw in those videos that just really broke his heart. Why in the hell were you watching that shit, Ashton? Literally. So life-changing, wasn't it? So we do have a lot of empathy and compassion for all of you injured investors that do get to see the law working for you and returning your monies that you took it upon yourself to invest here. So hopefully our thoughts and prayers are heard and all of y'all feel very, very well vindicated now that you see that, you know, these people that really were your celebrities pitched by the media ad nauseum as the funniest people on earth. Ha ha ha, he he he. Punk and punk, punk and punk. I mean, what in the literal hell, you guys? Seriously. As well as voicing a character on Stoner Cats, Kunis listed on IMBD.com as one of the series' executive producers. Oh, damn. The plot thickened, you guys. The plot just literally thickened AF. Miss Mila Kunis, who says she's never touched a shred of a joint in her life. She could be drug tested for the last 20 years, going back to when she first met Danny and made that impression on her to really go say no against drugs. Every Hollywood party that she ever went to, she was 1,000% sober of drugs. I mean, alcohol was allowed. Remember, Danny was a drunk, so alcohol, get drunk AF, who gives an F? Just wait 24 hours to get a session. But the executive producer of Stoner Cats, that doesn't have a shred of a clue how stoner culture works, is really, really pitching that culture because ha ha ha, he he he. We literally cannot stop laughing. I mean, literally, who needs a joint right about now? Seriously, this is so pathetic and nauseating. So, executive producer Mila Kunis, add that to your letter. Dear George Olmedo, my name is Mila Kunis, executive producer of Stoner Cats. that really need to write this letter about how Danny Masterson really made a really big impression on me when I was 14 years old at that 70s show. And, you know, he's a big brother to me. And, you know, thanks to his influence, I never thought of touching a blunt in my life, but I did take it upon myself to launch an NFT project where we would sell this culture to others and be all ha ha ha, he, aren't we so funny? I mean, literally, like, what in the literal hell is going on? Newsweek has contacted representatives of Kunis and Kutcher for comment. Well, I imagine, Newsweek, that the representatives for Kunis and Kutcher don't even know what in the hell to say anymore. I mean, what in the hell is there to literally say right now, you guys? Seriously. It has been a rocky few days for Kutcher and Kunis. Yeah, Newsweek. No shit. Rocky AF. Who recently issued a public apology for the character letters they wrote supporting kid that grew up in Scientology and is now a convicted, you know what in the literal hell we mean, Danny Masterson, who was last week sentenced to more than 30 years in prison for you know what in the hell we mean, 2 women. 2. In September 9 video shared on Kutcher's Instagram account, both him and Mula apologized to Los Angeles Superior Court Judge George Olmedo for writing the letters. They're apologizing to themselves for writing those letters, you guys. They're like, what in the literal abominable, stupid ass, implicating ourselves hell did we really take upon that phone call from, you know, as Ashton says, we heard from the family, reached out, the family meaning Carol Masterson, or not, and told them exactly what to say, what to write, how to say it, when to say it, how much to say it, how long to go, how much to wield their influencer superpowers, because the letter they wrote to a judge didn't possess a shred of literal judgment. Like everybody keeps saying like, yeah, but they really thought that, the letter was going to a judge. The letter was going to a judge, but the letter was going to a judge. I mean, the letter was going to a judge. It was going to be sealed and only the judge. So if only the judge reads it, then who gives a shred of an F, right? Because it's not like the judge was going to go, what in the literal hell are these people saying? And then no one will hear it outside her chambers. I mean, as Mila sits there and tells us these letters were no disrespect to the judicial system, you couldn't have been more defecating on the judicial system if you literally were not defecating on the judicial system. As if Judge Olmedo was supposed to read y'all's unhinged infantile rants and just supposed to take it because she's a judge, and if those letters really were supposed to be sealed, she couldn't do a shred of a thing, and she would have just seen through y'all that are running this Thorne, and then she couldn't do anything about it because she's a judge that's got a million other cases to go do, and she can't just touch every shred of corruption that goes by her. So yes, congratulations, Mila and Ashton. Wow, we couldn't be more wow by your intellect right about now. You really were writing the letters to a literal judge that did take it upon herself to sit there and listen, that did take it upon themselves to do a shred ton of due diligence, to sit there and arbitrate over what in the hell was even presented, for her to even give a shred of an F about what happened in that situation. Because again, y'all tried to pretend, oh yeah, 20 years later, I mean, like, of course, that's all BS. 20 years. And y'all's friends inside those hotels derailed everything to end up where it did. If you sat yourselves in that courtroom, like all of the supporters of Danny, who also just literally went through their head, just sat there, apparently not digesting a shred of a fact. Because again, all of them are implicated in the cover-up. All of them were okay with covering it up for 20 years. What makes any of y'all think that 20 years later, they were going to say, oh yeah, we covered it up for 20 years. But you know what? Now that Judge Olmedo really is on this, we really should distance ourselves from this burning, disgusting hotel, because maybe we're going to be implicated when we show the complete lack of cognitive dissonance that is going to mean, like the Kutchers, telling on themselves. This is what you call you told on yourselves. You cannot put the toothpaste back inside the tube. You can try, you can put it, oh my God, put it back. No toothpaste is going back in that MF tube. And no matter of fake ass pitches and stepping downs that are doing nothing to help nobody, no Jane Doe is helped by y'all stepping down. No victim is helped by y'all stepping the F down. The only thing that counts is stepping up. The only thing that counts is coming with real receipts, real accountability, real humility for the clownery and disrespect that you have shown everyone in America who has bought y'all's productions, including all these people from Stoner Cats that, again, Mila, executive producer of Stoner Cats, thought that Judge Olmedo should just really read her letter and no one else will read it, and whatever Judge Olmedo thinks, well, who gives a shred of an F? At least I said what Carol wanted me to say. Can we just go to something else? I'm so sick of tired of talking about this. That's all we have seen from you too, Mila. Kunis added, We support victims. We have done this historically through our work, and we will continue to do so in the future. Well, I'm glad that we have you quoted here again, Kunis. Supporting victims, and you haven't supported a shred of a child stuck in the hotels where Danny was a paid member to. And we don't know if you and Ashton were secret members of that. There's plenty of secret celebrities that did like the handlings they were getting from this hotel and the life coaching that only those hotels give to celebrities. You cannot find that type of service anywhere else. So why you and Ashton had a so-called executive assistant that was a Scientologist all up in your business, in your most private, intimate business, but really want us to buy that you had not a shred of a clue what Scientology was, and it wasn't you, it was just Danny that was doing that. Please give us a fucking bag to barf in. So the couple added that the letters were not intended to question the legitimacy of the verdict. No. Your letters were actually insulting the legitimacy of what you didn't give an F about, doing any shred of due diligence for yourselves, given that you, Mila and Ashton, the sophisticated zealots that you are about legal issues and about cryptocurrency projects, because we really are that smart and we really know what in the hell we're talking about, and we are the chairmen of the boards of something. So don't play infantile. You cannot be the chairman of the board of this organization for 10 years, a decade plus almost, and not have a shred of a clue how any legal manners work, or how any judges work, or how any of this works. That's what everyone in the media is trying to now kind of like go into. Well, you know, we really did go hard on them, but now it's time to, you know, redemption tour, like Molly was pitching. How do we redeem them? We'll go talk to Anderson. And Mila, you just stay away, Mila. Just go play with your phone, is what Molly says in her TikTok. Just you have nothing to say, and Ashton has more to lose. You have nothing to lose. I mean, what are you losing? Seriously, you're worth 75 million, Mila. You're entitled. You're a Hollywood Woman of the Year. You know what in the hell you're talking about. No one's going to see through your BS because, you know, as soon as Anderson Cooper asks you some softball questions, America will be like, okay, on to the next one, on to the next one. So yeah, Mila, stay out of it. And Ashton, go tell them and just really show accountability. Really, really, really. Like, we're going to tell you the words to say. You just use this line, and then when he says this, you're going to use this other line, and then he's going to ask you this, but you just say, no, yeah. And this time, really do say the Jane Doe's names, okay? Because that's really going to make everyone go, oh, okay, well, yeah. See, he said the Jane Doe's names, guys. He really, really cares. He really, really cares because, you know, nothing says we care like getting called on a headline that you are participating in a scam called Stoner Cats, of which you know nothing about the culture because Danny Masterson told you that drugs were really, really something to be so worried about, especially pot. I mean, pot, these people couldn't be more anti-pot if they literally tried. You guys. So again, what did we learn today? Well, for one, I would say we have learned that the only agency, the only three-letter agency at all that ever seems to give a shred of an F about any frauds, never mind that human trafficking is fraud and coercion, but I mean, I guess, you know, it's too much to ask people to really care about fraud and coercion. Right? Because that's like what the human trafficking people that are in a Clearwater summit, all the investigators of human trafficking that did take it upon themselves to go to Clearwater, you guys who are there having a convention on human trafficking in Clearwater, Florida, are really, really thinking to themselves, you know, we have to prove fraud and coercion. Being a human trafficking investigator is really, really hard. But you know what? I think Mila, whose heart always goes out for victims, in a really big way, historically. And Ashton are the Hollywood private sector tech bro type people that we really should be tapping to help us. So that's what the other ones there at the Human Trafficking Division are wondering, because apparently the courts could not be any more hard to prove that you have been defrauded as a child, that you have been coerced into doing the unthinkable for pathetic clown adults that bought the pitch from an indicted felon. So, woohoo. Woohoo. We learned that Mila Kunis is not just nobody, and that's why she shouldn't just sit on the sidelines, Molly. Very anti-woman of you to be telling the woman to just sit that one out, publicist that you are on TikTok, influencing a lot of women to really know how to handle PR according to an expert, how to launder it, how to make it all look like it didn't even happen. Aren't y'all so clever? Because publicists and Scientology have that in common, you guys. They know how to launder the facts better than anyone in the world. Before you know it, they have this pitch, that pitch, this pitch. Only this to make them think that, only that to make them think this. And before you know it, there's not a shred of credibility in this corporate media news cycle, who are all in aiding and abetting the systemic laundering of images for all the people that are really going to lose a lot of money if Mila and Ashton all of a sudden are not worth 275 millions. Don't think that only Mila and Ashton suffer, you guys. Tons of their little partners next to them are going to be like, well, we didn't know this. How the F were we supposed to know that they were involved in all this shit? Well, it's not like it's been in the corporate media running ad nauseum what these people were doing inside those hotels. So yeah, it's true. You can all cry and complain in your next Hollywood Academy Award show about how you didn't really know how bad it was for the kids. But you know what? Since the invention of YouTube happened and the SBTV community has been coming here and informing y'all real quick on a GTS away, Google Scientology child trafficking, so you can, just start to get the flavor of what in the hell this is. Since already a pretty good law firm did take it upon themselves to investigate for years before they were ever able to type a shred of a word to put it inside those, courts of Florida that, give everyone the creeps, because, there's a lot of investment writing when civil attorneys take on your case. Never mind, there's not a shred of criminal matter here. Still, in this year 2023, the United States of America is 1000% in on sanctioning child trafficking of minors at scale inside Scientology hotels. As long as celebrities are involved, it doesn't count as child trafficking, you guys. It counts as a religious experience that you're having for yourself in America. Florida, yes. Red issue, yes. Blue issue, yes. CC Vice President Kamala Harris, prosecutor of the world, first vice president woman of the world. Take it upon yourself, Kamala, the prosecutor that you are, to start digging into some facts. Call out your folks at the SEC. And since they're the only ones that have a shred of teeth, maybe they can tell you what in the hell's going on with Ashton and Mila and Thorne and all of these things that y'all are so intimately, deeply all involved in. Stop playing dumb, because that's the only thing that is not going to work. So, all right, you guys, let's see. Since I can't see the comments and talk at the same time. I'm like, I know that some people are really good at this, you guys, but I literally cannot do it. So I can read real quick though. So I'm just going through here and seeing, y'all make such great points. Case in the house. Yes, Serge, we need to contact all of these entities. They must do better. I'm working on a full list of contacts for everyone to reach out to ask for real change. Great. This is exactly what we need, you guys. Initiative starts by going to the FDLE page on Instagram, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. I mean, they couldn't tell you in their name more who they are than the literal name of who they are. Florida Department of Law Enforcement, that is all about hosting this human trafficking joke of a convention that they're having for themselves in Clearwater. Unless you guys were such outsiders and don't have a shred of a clue what in the hell we're talking about, and they really are there because they really wanted to tell the people, like, we wanted to come here in this year 2023 to the epicenter of child trafficking. And it's happening all with Hollywood stars and all in these Scientology hotels. So Hollywood and Scientology are both implicated. And everybody loves these people, and there's a ton of publicists really curating tons of images, and really, like, soaps and bubbles and scrubbing is all it takes to everyone play real dumb real quick. And how are we going to fight this? Human trafficking investigators of the entire world that we are. Maybe that's what's going on, you guys. We don't know, but we will let you know if we ever do find out. It's shredding time. Yeah, thank you, J. Alexander, because it is shredding time. Right, guys? It's like, whenever we hear the comments of like, oh my God, you sound so angry. Oh my God, you're so strong. Oh my God, you triggered me. Well, trust me, we are doing our best, first of all. And number two, our question is, why in the literal hell is everyone so complacent, sitting in the sidelines doing jack nothing? Because, I mean, we're talking child abuse of minors at scale. So why is everyone so complacent? Why is everyone there with their little, like, let's really be Mila's and Ashton's psychologist and see if their apology was real true or real BS, because we really should talk about this ad nauseum. Because, oh, look, you guys, Time Magazine said he stepped down. Okay, let's do this the right way. Let's really clean your image. Let's go give the story to Time Magazine. Oh, hello, Time Magazine. Hi, we really want you to break the story of Ashton stepping the F down. Oh, sure, no worries. We'll type it up real quick. We'll be the first ones to break the story. Then everyone's eyeballs go there, and then we sell all our advertising that we just saw here on the websites, you guys, because it's not like that's not how the business of that shit works. But what in the hell is Time Magazine doing, having pitched this as the cult of greed? Never mind that the failed pitch of the Time Magazine didn't include a shred of attention and focus on the kids, because greedy AF adults couldn't have been greedy AF child abusers reading it all from an invented, disgusting memo from a convicted, indicted felon that L. Ron Hubbard was, that they were also goo goo gaga about, and everyone in America is so pressed to not insult them. Do not insult them. We're so about everybody here, inclusivity for all. Well, you know what? Why in the literal hell are we having inclusivity for child trafficking, disgusting proteges? Because that's the question that we do have today. And the shredding comes because we care. The shredding comes because if we didn't give an F, we wouldn't even show up. We don't want to be doing this work. We don't want to have to be making these points. It shouldn't be our job to do it. We've only tried for the last 8 years to do it with all these supposed news people that every time they're given a ball, they fumble it and they make money. They fumble it and they get money. They don't give an F if they do anything. They just want to fumble. I mean, again, the corporate media that wants to be cradled and canoodled and paid at all costs for literally doing jack nothing, as they all sit there literally looking like idiots because none of them can figure out what in the hell's going on inside of those hotels. Loving the sarcasm. Thank you. Well, you know what? That is exactly what it is, you guys. We couldn't be more sarcastic AF at this point. After a full lifetime of gaslighting, that's where in the hell you end up. Sarcastic AF. Nerman, Sea Org captains, loyal officers, Harvard, agent provocateurs, international. Bingo, 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 bingo. Literally everything there, you guys. It's actually pretty simple. It's not really that complicated. I gave up pot for Scientology. Then I gave up Scientology and started smoking pot again. Pot shits on Scientology for stress release and help. There you go, Roxy. Well, thank you for being in our live today. And thank you for corroborating what this so-called, Scientology that really tells pot smokers, like, that's what they do. They guilt pot smokers into smoking pot. Oh my God, you're smoking that, your body. Think about your body. That shit's going to stay in your body and you're going to do weird things because that is in your body and it's a toxin and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, never mind that they have the toxic of L. Ron Hubbard inside of them. But again, if you have the toxin of L. Ron Hubbard inside of you, all you do is blab as if you're L. Ron Hubbard yourself. So it's pretty disgusting. Cheers. Scientology creates more stress you could ever want to create in yourself. Exactly. That's exactly what they do. They just meddle in what in the hell is not their business. They give advice. They're know-it-alls for everything. Oh yeah, we really did write a policy. We really did do this. Really. And it's all just out of a 2-week course hotel, you guys. So they never do a shred of actual heavy lifting and due diligence to become experts in anything. Masterson should have smoked joints, chilled the F out, and crashed on the couch rather than run his reign of terror on Scientology practices. Exactly. Literally, exactly. He would have been much better off than becoming a full-blown raging alcoholic that he did become, with anger issues that were absolutely out of control. Wait, what with Michael Bublé? Don't ruin him for me too. Well, and look, you guys, it's ruinous for all of us that have, that's part of the artist's deal, right? It's like people fall in love with what these people represent. And while we're not implicating Michael Bublé, other than doing this project, and then, remember, it's not like every single person that it's ever done anything with a shred of Scientology involved has to be the same thing. I think Michael and Jane Fonda are literally mortified AF. It'd be good for Jane Fonda, activist of the year that she is, to come to our corner and say, yes, child trafficking should not be happening either in Hollywood or in Scientology. Because again, it's like Hollywood and Scientology have infantilized adults and adulticized kids as a business model. And we are literally here in this year 2023 saying that business model is disgusting AF. And what in the literal hell are y'all doing? So a lot of stuff has been pitched under this like false license of we're such artists and we can do whatever in the hell we want. But if it's coming at the expense of others, then what are you really contributing? Because majority of these, artists, especially Scientology artists, are just ridiculous. Giovanni Ribisi can really play the part of a lawyer in a film about Waco, Texas, while in the same time being a paid member with $40 million in the bank that gives all manner of money so children can be trafficked inside of those hotels, where he also took it upon himself to defend Danny because Danny and him all about these hotels. So that's really what it comes down to. We have to be realist and see that there's a lot of fake BS that's been pitched. And we've also fallen for the fake BS pitches because we are all humans. We're all connecting ourselves to these informational centers. And you buy some pitch and you lose other pitches. And that's why it's good to have diversity. And that's why it's good that Everyone should open their own channel and talk about what in the hell they need to talk about, so that you don't have editors and people and PR people to tell you this and tell you that and tell you blah, blah, blah. We see this playing out in Drew Barrymore, right? Like, she was just canceled on doing her show while the writer's strike goes on, and I really did wonder. It's like, what in the literal hell is Drew Barrymore doing? Is this another child actor that's been told she's so special her whole life that she could be that insensitive? Because it didn't make any sense. Like, why are you doing this? Like, that's not even your brand. You usually come across super sensitive, super nice, super whatever. Never mind that she did now tell everyone that she's not doing the thing. The ladies at The View been told by Time Magazine they're the most important show in the world, and da 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 da. It's like these people believe themselves being these really special people, you guys, just because they come out on TV and a lot of people listen to you. So there's nothing special about anybody. That's really the bottom line. Fame could not be more fake AF, more useless AF. Wouldn't be literally a drug that all these people are on, diluting themselves that they have something really special about them, when they're just like any old common human being that walks on the same set of gravity rules as everyone else. So that was that. Roxy, newsflash, Masterson shares the same birthday as the monster Hubbard himself. No wonder he's flying monkeys, thinks he's so special. Well, there you go. And so is my grandmother, you guys. My grandmother was born March 13th also. So I don't know. Maybe that's what got me here in the first place. But never mind that I'm a third generation Scientologist, because my parents recruited my grandparents into this. My grandmother was actually a really nice woman, but she bought the pitch. She was selling the Tupperware along with all these things. And that's why, the Kutcher's doing this NFT scam, you guys, just shows you the type of people that are scammers, and they scam again. And they're always looking for scams. It's really what they're doing. It's really ridiculous. C. Taylor, weed is conductive to free thinking. Yeah, well, they cannot have any of that in there. Literally, free thinking is you are the devil incarnate. You don't think like us, then what in the hell is literally wrong with you, is what they tell you ad nauseum. Let's see, anything else? Seriously, Serge, let's remember these people are actors. They lie for a living, not debasing the profession, just the beastly fools and criminals within their ranks, which are many, in my humble opinion. I mean, that's just literally a fact that we're all seeing play out, a fact from the factory of derangement that has been Hollywood and Scientology, you guys. As much as Hollywood distanced itself from the problem, it's all fakery AF. It's all these publicists telling, oh, yeah, distance yourself. You're not really about that. Really know who the hell you are. You're not like them. But at the end of the day, we'll keep finding the parallels of how these people were using each other. So while I was not a child actor, there's already plenty of actors that have come on the record to discuss how their handlers were handling them, to really make them believe that at 9 years old, they knew what in the hell they were doing and getting themselves into, and how that literally made them go crazy, just as Drew Barrymore. So the business model of adulticizing kids and infantilizing adults is disgusting AF, literally. Investors got punked. Exactly, Dub. And we're still getting punked in this year 2023 with fake AF statements and, big publicists that take it upon themselves to tell everyone how there's a way to clean things without a shred of actual accountability. And that, yeah, as long as you sound like this and say this to the right person on the right network, everything just goes amazingly great again. Well, literally, give me a bag. Let's see. A lot of you guys laughing, a lot of you with great comments. I'm just trying to see which ones we can read here. And if y'all want to get your comments read, make it clear when you write it, because then that would even go faster when we are doing the end of our video to find out what we're going to say. Sometimes it's far better to remain silent and simply appear stupid than open one's mouth and remove all doubt. Famous quote, many authors argued. Yeah, I mean, but also let's not incentivize these manipulators to do that, because, you know, people should be transparent. People should want to change. If something is broken AF, they should want to not have it be broken AF. And maybe if it's not just a culture of shame and humiliation tactics, and we really do give people a road to redemption that has accountability on each step of the way, we would be getting somewhere, right? So that's why we're asking Ashton to step the F up. Millionaire that you are, controller of all tech bros, you know, solving trafficking of minors yourself, will come and help and step up and put your whole entire organization to figure out if they had anything to do with your best friend ending up in the fate that he did. Because that would be you advocating for a victim that you really love a lot. So show that love in actual support of the facts and actual handling of, including but not limited to, Carol Masterson, Scientology mother that didn't give a shred of an F about her kids, Ashton. And if you want to say, oh, Serge, you don't know what in the hell you're talking about, I do know what in the literal hell I'm talking about. I know how these proteges of L. Ron Hubbard worked. I know what they were about. They all figured that following the pitch of an indicted convicted felon was going to work out really well for all of them. And it didn't, Ashton. And if you and Mila are following advice of a convicted indicted felon to raise your kids, go check yourselves in a mirror too, real quick. Because look, it happened to Carol. It could happen to you. Let's see what else. Clearwater Human Trafficking Hub. Yep. And shout out to all those human trafficking investigators that are out there really discussing, I'm sure, a lot of the trafficking going on that no one gives a shred of an F about. Right? Grounded in truth. Seriously. Thorne is questionable and under investigation. I really do hope so. I really, literally do hope so. Kutcher, I work to stop child trafficking. Masterson, let's hook up. I got a feeder of cases for you at the Fort Harrison Hotel. For you. Literally, Roxy, exactly. Those two peats in a pod. Hi, Candy's Life. How are you? Hi, Joe. Full stop. Yes. Pendulums, everyone. This is the downside of the upside. Cultural and societal manipulation. Let the problem go, encourage it, foster it, and then shine a light on it. And then crush it. Well, thank you, Mom, my mom. Because that is exactly where we are today, guys. We are at that full-blown pendulum because we understand what in the hell we're talking about. We are calling out the corruption that needs to be called out, that needs to be confronted, that needs to be changed. Nothing changes if nothing changes. So what in the literal hell are we all doing here? Yeah, we need to shine lights. We need to bring the sunlight. It is the best disinfectant. And this comment from RV there yet. Because they are complacent, they mutually compromise each other within the club, ranks, mob, Illuminati, etc., in order to keep silence as a culture. Age-old tactics for sure. Exactly, you guys. These are age-old tactics that have been employed ad nauseum by elites, narcissistic AF elites that really did think that the law doesn't apply to them, that really will go and spout out platitudes without a shred of self-awareness. And that's what we're calling out here. The platitudes are literally empty AF. For Harrison Hotel, can you check in, but you can't check out with your wallet or your kids? Exactly, Ashton. So CC Thorne team, CC leadership at Thorne team. The Fort Harrison Hotel, you can check in, but you cannot check out with your wallet and you can check out with your wallet or kids. Okie dokie. So I think we just finished that, you guys. So we've covered what we've learned. There's still scams going on. We will continue to dig into more weeds of this NFT scam of the stoner cats, since Mila did take it upon herself to tell us that she doesn't believe in drugs, but was running a crypto thing that was all about pushing that. And we're calling that out. So if you guys have any more questions, please leave it on the description down below. And I will see you guys all extremely soon. Bye-bye.